We were at point number 5, and this is about expectations. And we were saying that when you are expecting something from your partner, it is always good to mention. It is always good to speak it out. Don't assume that your partner is a mind reader. So because, okay, if you do not express what you're feeling, then what will happen is there is going to be a lot of resentment that is inbuilt, and that is going then to kill the relationship. So don't expect your partner to be a mind reader. I think we have agreed on that. And so expectations can be seeds of resentment. Let love bloom without them. Expect, yes, that's what I'm saying, but express what you're expecting. Don't expect and keep quiet. So if you expect something to happen, if you expect something to be done to you, then express that and allow your partner to know what you're feeling. So probably this is a small exercise that I would ask us to do. From where you are, just write down 3 unspoken expectations, then discuss them openly with your spouse later on, probably after this meeting. Write down 3 unspoken expectations. Yani, there are those things that in your heart, it's an expectation you want your partner to do, but you have not verbalized them. You have not spoken them out. Just write them down, 3 of them. Are you writing? Is anyone writing? 3 expectations, and plan to discuss them later with your spouse at an appropriate time. Is that clear? Someone give me a thumbs up. Is that clear? Okay, the next point is friendship is the foundation. Friendship is the foundation. Friendship is the foundation. And we have a Bible verse there from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9 to 10. Can I get someone reading it for us? Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 to 10. Okay, it says, 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. And in the context of the relationship, we should always know that 2 people should help each other succeed, not one person succeeding and the other one is just helping the other one to succeed. So if you want to thrive in the relationship, and there's some people who have this notion, maybe especially ladies, sorry if I sound biased, maybe they will say that mimi kazi yangu ni kusupport tu bwana yangu. Even your husband should also support you. And even to the men who are listening, don't just feel happy and feel good when you're always being supported by your spouses. Also, step down, step back kidogo, and allow them to stand on your shoulders as well. Support each other, because when that happens and each person is successful, then the marriage is going to be a very happy place. And so let's remember, okay, when we were starting, we said that love is not about feelings. It is about choices that, okay, it is a choice that we make, or rather it is a choice that we made. So just to build on that, what we should strive to build more is friendship. You build friendship with your partner, because if you're not friends, maybe probably now when your children are much older, they're out of the house and all that, then you're really going to have a tough time relating with each other. And by the way, I have seen many retired people who cannot stand each other. You see people divorcing after 60 years because they can't stand each other. They were not used to be friends. Now they have to be with each other more than anyone else. So let us build friendships at an early age, and let nobody lie to us. Marriage is not about those feelings of romance. Those feelings can fade, but friendship is built. friendship is built. And friendship is about doing, again, going to what Gottman said, that love is a verb. So for you to build friendship, it has to be intentional and you have to take a few steps. So we have seen that romance fluctuates, but friendship sustains. Sometimes you may not feel like it, but because you know your partner is your friend, you will sacrifice for them, you will do things for them that ordinarily you will not do. So passion may spark a marriage, but companionship keeps it alive through tough times. You know, that companionship, that friendship, that is what is going to make your marriage stay on. So a spouse uh, who's also your best friend offers a safe place to laugh, cry, and grow together. To laugh, very important. To cry, very important. And to grow together. I think we should mark those. Are they four things? Or yeah, I think they're four. So there's a time to celebrate, but then again, life has seasons. There will be another season for crying. So when someone is crying, then it doesn't mean that you leave the marriage or you quit or you stop supporting them. No, you're there with them when they're laughing. You're there with them when they're crying. And then you're also with them when they're growing. Actually, growing is about togetherness because, as I have said earlier, it is not ideal for one person to continually grow when the other person is not growing. What that simply means is the one who is growing is growing. The one who is supporting the other one to grow, because they're not growing themselves, they are decaying. So 10 years or 5 years later, they will not be like lovable. I don't know whether that is making sense, because they were not growing in the relationship. And if you're not growing, then definitely you are decaying. You are decaying, and may God help us. Hapo ndipo pale tunasemanga Bwana Yesu atuhurumie na atusaidie so that we grow together. Number 7 is that forgiveness is essential and frequent. That is probably something else that we are not told enough before we get married, that marriage is a place, it's a university of forgiveness, if I would say that, because you will realize that you will need to forgive and forgive and forgive, but that is essential. It is essential, but I'm not saying that we forgive perpetually. Again, this is just mentioning that, knowing that this could also be another can of worms and bring other issues as well that could be discussed individually and independently, depending on the need. But primarily, it is important for you to know that a marriage will be a place where you really need to forgive, because these are two people who are coming from two different backgrounds, probably two different cultures, you know, two different ideologies, sometimes not even two, probably four different ideologies, because if you probably you're brought up in a mixed community, in a mixed marriage, your partner is brought up in a mixed marriage, then you two of you come together, then you have like 6 backgrounds to deal with. And you know, you will definitely like have conflict. So let us be prepared to be people who forgive as frequently as we can. And the Bible says in Ephesians 4:32, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you. So we need to be kind-hearted. We need to forgive one another, just as Christ, just as God through Christ has forgiven us. So, but I'm not saying that we keep offending so that we can be forgiven every day. We need to be careful, be kind to each other. You know, it will be wrong for one person to keep offending the other one just because they can quote that verse on them. No, but let us, each person should be kind. This verse says, be kind to each other. It is not partner A to be kind to partner B only, and partner B should be rude to partner A. No, it is both partners A and B. They should both be kind to each other. They should both be tender-hearted, and they should both forgive one another. Very important. And grudges, as you realize, if there's no forgiveness, what will happen is grudges will build, and grudges are poisonous in the marriage. And but forgiveness will heal the grudges. Grudges are poisonous, but forgiveness will heal them. And holding on to hurt creates distance. You know, when your partner hurts you and you're not able to forgive them, or you're not willing to forgive them, what technically happens is you're going to, okay, there's going to be a wall. There's going to be a wall, there's going to be a distance, and you're going to start growing apart. And several months later or a few years later, then you start going to wonder, where did the rain start beating us? Probably it is because of, that 1, 2, 3 times that you did not forgive, you held on to unforgiveness, or someone did not apologize. Actually, it is very important. We usually tell children to, to use the magic words, I'm sorry, excuse me, and all that. But in the marriage relationship, you find there are some people, especially men. There's some men who would never say sorry to a woman. There are some men who will never ask for forgiveness from a woman. And again, now what that does, yes, you will retain your macho manness as a man, your chauvinistic, if you're like that. And then what happens is, then there's going to be a wall that will start building up because you simply can't say sorry. So do not forget that your partner is also a human being. And each person has feelings, and each person's feelings should be validated. So let us be cautious, let us be careful, even on how we trade on that, na tusikue tu people who are just wronging the other person and not willing to ask for forgiveness. If you're wrong, just admit. I love what people, our brothers and sisters from the coastal region usually say. Mtu akikosea wanasemanga kubali yaishe, sema pole yaishe. Sometimes some hearts could be forgiven, or they could be overcome just by simply forgiving and by simply asking for forgiveness. But I'm not saying if you ask for forgiveness, then you have to keep asking every day. Again, that depends on the particular situation. So forgiveness isn't a one-time gift, it's the glue that holds marriage together. So you realize that if you do not forgive, then it's like trying to bond two pieces of wood without glue. But when there's forgiveness, then that acts like glue. So a small exercise on that point is, if you're writing, you could write this. Let go of one small grudge today. Tell your spouse you forgive them. Probably as you're listening to me, your spouse has wronged you. You've been holding a grudge probably for a week, for a month, for a year, for a decade. There are people who hold grudges for 20 years even, depending again on your personality type. So what is that small grudge that you're willing to let your partner know that you've been holding a grudge against them? Probably they don't even know. So kindly, if you have a notebook or somewhere you're scribbling, you can write that, and then you can discuss it later, probably after this, or yes, after this will be good. So still on growth, something else is growth requires discomfort. And now this is a bit costly. It comes with a price to pay. And like if when we are pursuing growth to grow, there will be sacrifices to be made. Sometimes someone will be away from home for longer hours. Sometimes someone will be away from home for weeks, for months, because they're seeking growth in terms of career and in terms of personal development and all that. So, okay, and also because these are two people now that you have come together, there will be a lot of conflict also, and we should use that conflict to our advantage, knowing that it is through conflict that we grow. It is through conflict that we grow. And we have a very famous and popular verse there from Proverbs chapter 27. Is anyone willing to read it for us? Proverbs 27 on your screen. It's on your screen. I will appreciate. Proverbs 27, number 17.
Proverbs
Yes,
27. John. Iron sharpens iron. Another.
Yes, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So we know that if you have a panga ama kisu, it is not sharpened by wood. It is sharpened by another iron. So the same case with in our marriage relationships. If you want to become a better person, then you have to allow your partner to sharpen you. And if you can imagine the sharpening process, if you have a blunt knife, when your knife is blunt and you're cutting meat na ni nyama kwanza ngumu, labda ama unakatakata tu hata kama ni waru, if your knife is blunt, then your work is going to take really long, and it's going to be hard, and you're going to get blisters. But if your knife is sharpened, then whatever it is that you're doing is going to take less time. It is going to be faster. It is going to be fun. So what am I saying here? That in the marriage situation and relationship, we have a responsibility to sharpen each other. we have a responsibility to sharpen each other. And no one person is inferior. I think, though we are going to get to that point later, but let us understand that each partner, be it the man or the woman, each partner has a responsibility to sharpen their partner. Because when you sharpen your partner, probably there's some areas they are weak at. Remember, in the beginning, we said marriage is not about being complete, it is about complementing each other. So in the area that you find your partner is weak, in the area that you find your partner lacks, then you help them improve, you help them become better. And definitely that is going to be a period of a bit of discomfort, because sometimes it will be someone trying to unlearn. Remember, an institution, we said, is a place of learning. And a place of learning, you go to unlearn and relearn. How do they say it? You learn, you unlearn, you relearn again, and all that. So even in marriage, there are some things that you have learned. There's a way you are used to doing your own things. Now you have gotten married, you're in this relationship, and there's a way you have to unlearn some things and then relearn other things. So it is very key, and we should give our partners the room and the space to correct us, the room and the space to help us to improve. So your partner will reveal parts of you you'd rather not see, to refine you. Sometimes you will be criticized for things that probably people at work don't know, because at work you're all dressed up in a suit and all that. But at home, your partner knows you. Your partner actually knows now even the naked you. So you cannot pretend, you cannot hide anything. Kwa hivyo, when you're with your partner, allow them to help you grow. And when we both grow, then our marriages are going to be better. Remember that I said that if you're not growing, you are decaying. So if you're not improving in the relationship, if you keep complaining about the same things day in, day out, then that means there's someone there who is decaying. And when you decay, you die. And when you die, you become manure. Yes, and you will not be useful. So you could be in the marriage relationship, but you're like manure, you're already dead. So do not allow yourself to die. Keep sharpening each other. And the person who sees that their partner is not like improving, they're not like working hard, push them so that they can work hard, push them so that they can also improve. Otherwise, there's going to be a big disconnect in the future. So marriage doesn't make you happy, you make your marriage happy. So let's also remember that marriage will not, yes, it can make you happy, yes, but in the long run, it is you make your marriage happy. It will not make you happy. It is you. I hope we see the difference. It is not marriage itself that will make you happy. It is you who will make the marriage happy. And our little assignment from that particular point is what is one way your spouse challenges you to grow? What is one way your spouse challenges you to grow? Probably you could reflect. What is that one area in your life that your spouse continually challenges you to grow? What is that one area that you need to grow? So do not take it for granted. Do not ignore it. If particular, okay, and mostly the area to grow, because sometimes people will not bring it out as an area to grow. It will mostly come out as a complaint. So there's that one thing where your partner continually complains about something. So when they continually complain, it means then it is an area of growth. It is an area of development. I think because of time, we are going to do 2 slides, this number 9 and number 10. And then we are going to wrap it up. As we do that, I'm going to ask maybe 1 or 2 people to just give feedback. Feedback is important so that we can know how we are progressing. So number 9 is your words shape your marriage. Your words shape your marriage. Can someone read for us that verse on your screen, Proverbs 18:21?
The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Proverbs 18:21.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. So that is very key. That is very important. And sometimes you do not realize that words have a lot of power. And your partner, your children, your marriage will become what you speak, your words. So let us know that if we keep saying negative things, then those negative things will become. If we keep saying positive things, then those positive things will become. So it is very important for us to speak positivity and to know that we have life, the power of life and death in our tongue. Kwa hivyo, if you keep bashing your wife or if you keep bashing your husband, then what you're doing is you're killing them. You're destroying them, but you should give them life. You should bless them. And at this juncture, let me say that I don't know when was the last time, especially maybe if you're the man, when was the last time you blessed your lady? You blessed your wife, as in terms of not buying them a car, you blessed them with your words. If you're the wife, when was the last time you blessed your husband with your words? In the morning or in the evening? You know, that positivity and all that. And as I was preparing this, I said, you know, every Sunday we go to church and the pastor or the priest preaches, and then when they're doing the benediction, they bless us. And I was thinking that, you know, it is wrong for you to go to church to be blessed only. Okay, get me in my context. You should be blessed even as you go to church. This is what I mean. You should be blessed in your house first. What happens in church should be a confirmation of what you have been told in the house. So my encouragement and my challenge here is bless each other with words. Bless each other with words. And speaking like this, okay, this Zoom call is a preparation for a marriage online course that I am doing, that I'm running, that will be starting in March. Oh, we're already in March. That will be starting in 2 weeks' time. And there's one topic that is called love languages and knowing each other's needs. And it is very key and very important for you to know your partner's love language, your partner's how they interpret love, so that you can know how to bless them. Because if when we continually bless each other with our words, then we are building a very strong foundation and pillar in our relationship. So probably maybe at this juncture, I'll just say that there was a link in the form that you received. If you'd like to register for the online course, kindly go to that link and you're going to find some information. And I will also be sharing the same in the group, maybe after this or tomorrow, just to advertise the course. And my target group are people who are in the dating phase and people who are married, and especially those who never did a premarital counseling course. And I believe that many marriages, actually, they say that about 75% of marriages, they can be restored through counseling and through coaching. You know, it's not all problems that are so devastating. Some problems are just an issue of you learning something and unlearning another thing, and that can only happen in the space of learning. And mostly, I wonder because in our situation today, especially in our country, we have people advancing their careers. We have people going abroad, you know, doing local courses, doing online courses. We have people doing online degrees, online PhDs and all that. But how many people invest in their relationships? How many people invest in their marriages? How many people, okay, but I thank God for each and every one of you, because you're here, you're investing in your relationship. But out there, how many people really take time even to read a book on marriage? So, and when people don't read, when people don't invest, they will not know how to use words to shape their relationship. So my key point here is, so that I don't digress a lot, is that let us create a habit of blessing each other in the relationship. Let us create a habit of speaking positive words to each other in our relationship. So we have seen that your spouse becomes what you speak over them. Words can wound or uplift. And actually, sometimes I think words hurt more than probably a knife could. You know, there are people who are wounded because of words that were spoken at them. And so criticism tears down. You know, if you're in a relationship and your partner keeps criticizing you, that tears you down, while encouragement builds up. So let us create a habit of encouragement. Even when someone has done something wrong, before you go to the wrong thing, find a good thing that they did, encourage it, support them, and then you can correct them in love. Let us always remember to correct each other in love. So there's a quote there by Fon that emphasizes that point ya kwamba, speak life into your spouse and watch your marriage thrive. Speak life into your spouse. I think I cannot emphasize that enough, but let us create a habit of speaking life into our spouses, even into our children. Let us just speak life. And when we speak life, our marriages are going to thrive. And especially for women, for the men, you know, a woman will give back to you whatever you give to her. They are nurturers. They are nurturers. Is it nurturers or nurturers? They know how to nurture. That is how they have been created. So if you speak life to your woman, she will definitely speak it back to you a million more times better than you possibly can. So let us just understand that if you want anything, whatever you give it to her, she will incubate it and give it back to you. So let us give positive words, and let us remember the word that I have used. Let us bless our spouses, and when we bless them, they are going to bless us back. And when they bless us back, when you go to church on Sunday, when your priest, when your pastor prays over you and blesses you, that will be on a confirmation of the 6 blessings or 7 blessings you have been receiving every day. So the 7th one on Sunday will just be to culminate it. So you will be 7 times 7 blessed. So takeaway is, if you're noting somewhere, kindly note this. It will be very helpful for you. Say one affirming thing to your spouse today and watch their response. So please do not wait. This one cannot wait. Immediately after this, just write something down about your spouse that you really appreciate. If they are with you, tell them. If they're not, text them wherever they are. Just let them know one thing they appreciate. And please, on that one, remember to inbox me and give me your feedback. Let me know what happens after you affirm them, after you speak a blessing into their life. Please let me know. I will appreciate to know that this has been helpful to you. So number 10, which will be our last one for tonight, is intimacy goes beyond the physical. Can anyone read for us that particular verse, 1 Corinthians 7:5? Any volunteer?
First Corinthians 7:5. Do not deprive one another, except when you agree for a time to devote yourselves to prayer.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that verse is talking about intimacy. And you know, we are in the Lent season for those who are Catholics, and for those who are Muslims, it's the Ramadan, though different concepts and all that. And sometimes during the prayer season, people could deny each other. I do not want to go into nitty-gritties because that is not the lesson for today. But this is the main point. Intimacy in marriage is not physical only. And actually, I would paraphrase it or rephrase it and say this: physical intimacy is not the highest form of intimacy in any relationship. Physical intimacy is not the highest. It could be maybe, okay, it's usually not a starting point, but it is one glue. It is very important. It is very key in the relationship, but it is not the most important. There are other levels of intimacy for your relationship to work that need to be worked on. So do not just think and assume just because you're giving your partner physical intimacy, then you're good to go. No, you're not good to go. If you need to connect, number one, emotionally. Number two, and I usually say that this is the highest level of intimacy. Actually, it is number one. It will have come in front of emotional connection. It's spiritual intimacy. When you are able to connect with your partner spiritually, then you are able to go very far, and you're able to connect even in all the other areas. So spiritual intimacy is key, emotional intimacy is key, and intellectual intimacy and intellectual connection is also very important. So do not just bank on physical intimacy, but be emotionally connected with your partner, be spiritually connected, and be intellectually connected. You know, if you cannot have a sober conversation with your partner, then something is wrong. You're not growing, you're not intimate. So sex is the fruit of intimacy, not the root. The root should be spiritual, intellectual, and emotional. So sex will then become a byproduct of that. So the takeaway home is share one deep thought or feeling with your spouse tonight. Share one deep thought or feeling with your spouse tonight. A deep thought in terms of, it's not something intimate in terms of sexual intimacy. It could be something philosophical. It could be something spiritual. It could be something emotional. Just share something deep other than sex with your partner, and then see how that discussion goes. So thank you very much. I think I'm going to end it there.